Officials say that people really need to take this seriously and encourage people to wear their proper PPE like their masks and social distance so numbers can go back down.
We own this. These are our families, our neighbors, our community, and we can't allow this to happen.
Mayor Peter Nystrom's plead to the public, saying it's time to take precautions. The Department of Public Health issuing an official COVID-19 alert for the city, urging people to stay home and avoid any sort of gatherings. This after it saw a 6% spike in cases. The Greater Uncasville Health District recording a spike of nearly 10%.
Dealing with patients admitted with COVID-19 at similar rates, or if not higher, than what we were dealing with when the pandemic first started.
This is coming, in my opinion, at one of the worst times because it's getting colder and people are going to close up their homes, shut their windows. And we know that that's the beginning of flu season as well.
City officials say there is no one specific cause of the outbreak.
What we're finding is it's a wide spread of cases. It works across age ranges. While we may see a peak in certain age ranges, generally it's across the spectrum.
Norwich Public Schools moving to full remote learning for at least 2 weeks.
The transmission that we know of is not occurring within the schools. It is community spread. But we know that public schools can be an avenue for transmission, and so we want to be as proactive and safe as possible.
And as for those in the area looking forward to trick-or-treating, the mayor says stay home.
In all seriousness, a bag of candy is not worth somebody's health. It just isn't.
And the city will have a number of free COVID-19 testing events, and that information can be found on the Fox 61 website and mobile app. We're in Norwich. Brian Ditlake, Fox 61 News.